and burn.
Hey everybody. So tonight I'm looking to discuss Brandi Vezina's, I think this came out in 2025. The Spotify has it listed as an album, but because it's only 22 minutes, I have it in my head as an EP, and that is the more or less very recently released Grit and Glamour. This EP is perfect. There isn't a bad song on here. It opens up with Thinking About You, which is the heaviest song on here, actually. This is way more country focused. Vezina is a country artist. She's a native country artist originating from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And this EP is a collection of singles that she had been releasing over the past little while. And it opens up with Thinking About You. And Thinking About You has a hell of a lot of lead guitar on it. And that song has a lot of crunch. It's like by far the heaviest song on here. And although it's misleading, I love that, because it jumps off the EP so well. Like it's such a great place to start, because the song is really catchy and fun and thick and like chunky. So there was that. And I thought, like, I'd listened to the song like 20 times before I went on with the rest of the EP, thinking to myself, like, well, this song's amazing. I'm not really sure if this can get better. But I already knew that Paper Town was on here, because technically Paper Town was the song that I found her through APTN, the Aboriginal People's Television Network. I was shooting around on the YouTube app and I found the news tab. And from there, I rediscovered APTN. I hadn't thought about APTN in years. About 15 or so years ago, my girlfriend at the time was Native. She used to watch APTN all the time. And quick side note about APTN, back when cable was the dominating force, like as far as like, you know, TV and whatnot, like before streaming took over, APTN put on the best movies like in the whole country. Like once midnight hit, you knew that they're going to have Goodfellas playing, or they were going to have like Natural Born Killers playing, or Platoon was going to be on, or Casino, or one of the Rambos, or a Terminator. And it was just night after night, APTN knocked it out of the park with the movies that they were choosing to play late night on their station. And that's how I found Vezina, was a video that she had done live on some news program that was being shown on APTN. Her and, Christ, what's the name of the guy that co-wrote the song? Scott Nolan, I think. Christ, I hope I'm getting that right. But anyways, I saw a live performance of that, and Paper Town was so devastating and so catchy, but so incredibly sad, that that's what clued me into her. And then, it's funny, when I think that when I discovered Paper Town, I think Grit and Glamour had already been released. I can't remember now. Well, it doesn't matter. Paper Town is like my absolute favorite song on here, next to Old Fashioned Values, but it's the one that doesn't fit. Because like I said, Thinking About You is fun and upbeat and thick and heavy, and it's got a lot of lead guitar. And then like it leads into Next Time I Love, which again, my God, the next time I love, it's going to live in my bones was one of the lines from the song. And the song is just about like the next time that she's choosing to fall in love, she's going to go all in, which I couldn't agree more with, because it's sort of like when it comes to matters of the heart, if you're not willing to dive in head first, you're wasting everyone's time. No matter how badly hurt you may have been in the past, you have to let love live in your bones. Because if you don't, like, you know, someone's like, hey, yeah, you and so-and-so have been dating. How's it going? Oh, that sounds like the World Series of Love. Good for you. What's your girl's name again? You probably shouldn't be dating her then. So it's like Thinking About You starts off really heavy, and then Next Time I Love is a more, I guess, like, it's catchy as fuck. But it's a more traditional, I suppose, like country-inspired track, because the Vezina is a country artist. But I just love how honest it is, and how love has to live in your bones in order for it to work. Then, like, my other favorite song on here is Old Fashioned Values. I absolutely love how, at this point in 2025, I feel that we've moved so far away from old-fashioned values that we could really use a resurgency of that attitude where we listen to our elders. Because it seems like now everybody's a boomer, you know? If you're over 30, oh, you're a boomer. And it's like anybody over a certain like age point, that's it. They're boomers. And they have a lot of wisdom to share, you know? I remember a while ago, William Shatner was talking about that. He said that, like, here he is, like, he's so old, he knows so much about life, but nobody really, like, listens to older people. Nobody really listens to the elderly. Everyone just, you're old, and that's that. And he was saying now there's all this knowledge and wisdom just about your day-to-day existence that's going to go to waste time and time again because nobody really listens to the older people around them. They just sort of die, and everybody thinks being young is better. And what I like about old-fashioned values is it puts a focus on, like, what your grandparents will teach you. And it's, what's that line in there too? And the things that, and then what's that? The things you know you're gonna miss, so you try to hold on. And it's like, yeah. Sometimes though, you can hold on so tight that you miss what's going on around you. But I do love that line because it's true. Because there are things and people that you're gonna miss, and you're going to want to hold on to that shit because once they're gone, right? And then, of course, now, because of that, now I'm thinking about Time Stands Still by Rush, because that's what that song's about. It's not about looking back and wishing that the times that have passed are new again. Time Stands Still is about looking around you right now and just appreciating what you have in the present. And I love that. And somehow I managed to start talking about Rush now. Back to this EP. But I love that the focus on what older people could teach us is put onto this EP as well, because like I said, I feel like we've kind of lost sight of everything now, especially in this sort of fast food, TikTok, Instagram, Reels, brain rot world that we live in. Good at Being Bad is absolutely fun. It's an absolute blast. Super fun track about getting in trouble, being young, and having fun. Or I shouldn't say being young. It doesn't imply anything about being young, but nevertheless, Good at Being Bad it's a young thing. Nobody wants to see a 50-year-old raising hell. It's kind of embarrassing. So Good at Being Bad was absolutely wicked. Old Fashioned Values is amazing. Next Time I Love is perfect. Tornado in a Trailer Park was really fun too. But my favorite tracks are Thinking About You, Next Time I Love, Old Fashioned Values, Good at Being Bad, and Paper Town. Paper Town was the song that I found her through. And this is written by her and Scott Nolan. And it's about a paper mill somewhere, I think, in Winnipeg, Manitoba, in what was it? Pine Falls. I read an interview with her where she said that it was the only paper mill in that part of the prairies. And it shut down back in 2009. And when it did, it took the entire town with it. You know, the song opens up with, he was 46 years old when the mill shut down. And yeah. And what do you do when you lose your job at 46? You know, you've been somewhere, you're assuming that you've been working at this mill, or this individual has been working at this mill since he, finished high school way back. And now he's in his mid 40s and he lost everything. And then because Paper Town, what it reminds me of is, I haven't read the book, but the movie Nomadland with Frances McDormand, how the sheetrock facility, the sheetrock factory that her and her husband worked at, there was a declining need for it. And after 88 years, the factory shuts down and it wiped out the entire zip code in the process. So the town just sits there empty and vacant. And I've come across so many places like this, just out looking for abandoned properties to explore because it's fun. And there was this one time I was out at this one, I think I was near like Wingham, Ontario. And it was a ghost town. And there's an adjacent textile factory that was massive. And I got the impression that it must have shut down and that's what wiped the town out. But something more urgent might have taken place too, because I'd only managed to get into a few of the houses and they were all fully furnished, and like their clothes and everything were in their dressers, and like the closets were full of clothes, and their dishes were all in the cupboards in the kitchen. And I don't know. It was really off-putting. And I mean, now, of course, now I'm thinking it must have been Oakburn Opus. The Pied Piper comes in with the flute and makes the town disappear. But that couldn't have been it, because I just discovered Oakburn Opus a few months ago. If you don't know what Oakburn Opus is, look it up. It's from Red Diamond. Check out the YouTube channel. It's analog horror. There's 4 parts to it. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then Oakburn Opus Lies. It's absolutely amazing. I'm completely off track again, losing focus. Now I'm talking about Oakburn Opus. Paper Town is tragic. It's so sad, but it is so memorable. And it's just about the devastating effect of when the local industry, or it's about the fragility of a local industry and how a town's entire existence can be altered so significantly when said industry dries up. And it's an amazing song, but it doesn't fit on the EP. It's my absolute favorite song on here, but it's the most downbeat, like sad song that otherwise doesn't really reflect what's on the rest of this EP, because the rest of this EP, although it's serious at times, it's still upbeat and kind of fun. And Paper Town isn't fun. It's a great song, but it's incredibly sad. And you know what? I think I'm going to leave it there. I had no intention of having this video run for 10 minutes. I thought I could get through this a little more efficiently, but considering that I'm sort of a stream of consciousness, chatterbox that just kind of gets lost and everything, I apologize. I'm going to leave it there. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for over 10 minutes while I discussed Brandi Vezina's, I'm going to take a guess and say, the 2025 EP, Grit and Glamour. I think it came out in 2025. Like always, if you like this EP or you like this review, don't forget to go and do something nice for somebody. It's simple. Hold a door for somebody or give $1 to charity the next time you're asked to at Walmart. But most importantly, like always, never forget that the world is a way better place because you are in it. I'm going to go. Have a good night.